Now, this is the principle from which we have taken our cue. Why should Holy Quran discriminate between man's rights of marriage and woman's rights of marriage in relation to religion? The obvious answer is that women, I'm not talking of the Western, so-called leaders of emancipation and so on. I'm talking of the world as a whole. Women, in fact, are weaker in comparison to men because they are physically stronger and they are the bread earners. So in religion, most often, men enforce their religion upon their children. So if a true believer, a woman in Islam who is a true believer, gives birth to children only to be handed over to such people as she believes are wrong, if she is sensible and meaningful and also sensitive to these issues, it will create a hell for her. So it is to save these contradictions and the contradictions of upbringing later on that Islam does not permit its women to marry outside. So a sort of division is created within Islam, and in the application to such divisions, we apply the same formula. Right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So the second part is, in this case, if I myself was to marry a white Christian, what would your views be on this?
Right. You can.
Yeah.
There is no inhibition.
Okay.
But remember this, that the principle involved in not prohibiting Muslim girls should not be altogether ignored. You must understand the philosophy. If the main purpose, as I have suggested, is to save your progeny from contradictions and being brought up in a sort of tug-of-war atmosphere between man and woman, then it is better to marry among the people of your own faith and your own beliefs. And if, as I have found sometimes, a Christian girl is only a girl Christian in name, and she has no inhibitions whatsoever regarding the husband giving his religion to children, then it's not problematic. But if she belongs to, for instance, Jehovah's Witnesses, then you have had it. Right? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
My name is Abbe Pokech.
Abdul?
Abbe. My mother calls me Abbe, and my father's name is Okech. And so I become Abbe Pokech.
Pokech. Right.
If you would allow
and
me.
You're also from Nigeria?
I come from Uganda.
Uganda?
Yeah.
Which part of Uganda?
I come from the
northern region or southern region?
From the northern Uganda. From northern Uganda.
I understand.
Which does not agree very much with the foreign religions.
I understand, yes. You see, there are more local tribal religions in the north than in the south.
It's not tribal. It's called religion of the oppressed.
I understand. Okay, whatever name you gave, but I have followed.
I would like, with your permission,
yes, please,
to find the number of women among your audience. Please put up your hand. Women. Women among the members of the audience.
Just a minute. Address me, please. If somebody goes to the women's section, where women are sitting,
yeah, thank you.
The same objection will be raised there. We don't see any men sitting here.
Thank you. Now,
so it's not a question of equality. It's a question of equal rights.
And now come to the question.
And the philosophy is not based on discrimination.
Wonderful. Now I come.
You see, in churches where men and women go both together, women dare not go to the church without full makeup and being most attractively dressed, resulting in people paying more homage to the beauty around them than the beauty of God they have come to worship. So Islam is a very meaningful religion.
I'm coming to that now.
Right.
The story is, I'm asking you, you might have come across a story that came from India about the 6 blind men with the elephant. You might have read that.
Right.
Once you have read that, I am now asking you, which part of that elephant has Islam touched?
Which part of that elephant?
Because the 6 blind men.
Now the question implies that as far as human areas of human interest are concerned, you have satisfied yourself that Islam has touched on all the important topics. The only problem left between you and its acceptance of Islam is that Islam doesn't seem to have touched any part of that elephant. Is that right?
That's what I'm asking, because there are so many religions.
What I mean to say is, instead of going into such hypothetical questions, it is much wiser and more productive to ask specific questions regarding Islam's teachings in application to any one area. Then I'll be able to answer you.
Yes, the point now, I come to the point.
Right, do please.
The 6 blind men heard about an elephant.
That's right.
That it was a very big animal. So when they heard that the elephant had come to town, they all said, let us go and see that animal.
I know the story.
The people
The
of the
concept of animal was born differently by the 6 people, because one of them touched the trunk,
Yes.
the other one leg, the other the snout,
the tail.
and things. I know the story. What I mean to say is, instead of going into generalities like that, let's turn to the specifics,
You see,
please.
people went and touched, Christianity went and touched the elephant. Islam touched the elephant. They all touched the different parts of that elephant. Now,
this is where I would like to correct your question. It is not based on the right premise. Islam claims to have touched on all issues of human interest, not a part thereof. Islam is the one religion in the whole committee of religions in the world which makes the specific claim of being universal. And with that claim, it is impossible for Islam to have ignored certain people of certain areas and discussed the interest of those people in a certain area. But Islam goes further. It says that God has sent prophets not only to all the parts of the world, but in all ages. So this is the only religion, remember this, which makes it obligatory upon Muslims to believe in all the prophets and not to make distinction between one against the other or discrimination between one and the other. And then Islam claims that you have to believe not only in general totality, but you must confess that you believe in every prophet of God, whether he belonged to your age or he happened to be earlier. So with this wide, comprising claim, what area you think could be left out? You see, such a claim is not found anywhere, and I'm going to remove a possible misunderstanding which you or anybody else may entertain in this regard.
Yes, I come to...
You may